members' minds. Well, don't you know they gonna come knocking at somebody else's door? What about your grandbabies, if you have any? What about your children? Ain't nobody safe here in this town until we can do something with the people. DHS that's not doing the things according to the law. Now we have the power to do things if we join together and take the information that we have to the proper authorities. And that's beyond just always here. DHS is controlled by the government. Or do they control the government? They're about the only organization I know that is allowed to break the law and nobody can do nothing about it. Oh, you go file civil litigation. Oh, that don't get them crooks out from down there. That don't get the child abusers from down there, out of that office down there. What about the criminals? We got two sets of laws. You got the criminal law, you got the civil law. But the criminal law never applies to DHS. So why ain't some of these people going to jail for the abuse that they've done to some of these children I know that's going to happen here in this state? If you abuse your child, you go to jail. What's the difference in you and somebody else coming in your house, taking your own kids out of your own house, traumatizing them, and then bring them back and tell you it's okay, take them to a counselor? If the child needs to be removed from the home, I can understand it. But in all cases, that's not the case. And your child wind up traumatized. That's the next generation. Nobody's responsible. We got people sitting down in the office right down there right now, know what I'm talking about. Are they protecting children? No. You know what they're doing? They making money. This is what this is about. It's about money. If they pick up your kids, that means that the counselors is going to have some work also. The moment the kid rate go down, that means they're going to have to fire some counselors. Ain't nobody trying to fire no counselors around here. And these same problems that we have over and over and over in the system would not exist if it was actually doing their job and following the protocol. The laws is on the books. The problem is we can't find nobody that wants to actually support the laws for the people. Title 10 states that we are not supposed to be doing anything, meaning DHS, that's not in the best interest of the children. That's the law. But does this law apply to them? Are they following it? I know somebody, everybody around here knows somebody that's been touched by that office down there. What about the times that you went your own self and tried to go get help and report things that you know that went wrong down there in the office? And then, how many times did it fall on deaf ears? We want the law to change, and we want it to be equal for all people, starting with the children. If you're not going to do the kids right, how in the world do you think the next generation is going to come out and expecting success here? We must do things to save our own children. The state's not going to do it. The state is out to make money. They get paid to go do what they do. That's destroying families here that don't need it. Don't get me wrong. There's good people down there in DHS. There is. But we got some bad people down there also that needs to be taken out of the office. And as long as the district attorney, first I'm concerned, my name is Charles St. Thomas Jr., as long as the person I'm concerned, as long as he's going to go along with the wrongdoing, he's there to make money too. How can I say that? Because of what happened to my family. It was reported to him, the district attorney, but what happened? It was covered. Just like it would happen with all the rest of the children that's been traumatized and beaten, murdered here in this state, and nobody does nothing about it. Aren't you tired of sitting up watching the next child fall to the system? Nobody cries until it's their kid, till it's their child. Well, they didn't knock on my door. I'm not concerned with them coming back to my door. So you people that's got the children out here, got the grandchildren out here, what are you going to do? Continue to accept the wrongdoing that you know, that the police knows, the sheriff department knows, and their hands is tied because of the situation that the state has placed families in. That means we don't have any rights to exist as family without somebody like DHS come knocking at your door and can make a mistake and don't do nothing to try to correct it. That's right. They have what they call a reunification program. They're supposed to try to put families back if they make a mistake. But I yet to get into that service. Right up here. None of it. And how many other people has been placed in the same position? Or go down and you're treated like you're less than a human. Okay, like the money is supposed to be coming out of their pocket. We're taxpayers. These people are public servants. How in the world it gets to the point where a public servant tell you what you can and what you can't do to the point where it's in the right for your family? That's interesting. You accept the things in society that you want. If you don't want it, you don't accept it. These people are elected officials, such as the DA. I don't agree with the way he do things. No. So when come time, election time, change this. Get these people out of the office that don't do their job. They want to sit around and fill their pocketbooks off of the mistakes that's created from negligence due to the schools. They're not crazy. They know it's connected because DHS is connected to the schools. If you don't educate a child, you put a child on the streets, what you expect the child to do? The same thing that any other person is going to do is try to make it and survive. There's no excuse for a child not having an education nowadays, but we got children graduating out of high school right here in Seminole County that cannot read or write.
That's right. That's true.
Is that an education? Guess what? And you paid for it. Taxpayers paid for it. Well, something to me, somebody spends the money in their pocket, or somebody's just out to do damage to your children. Then they're if you're gonna send your children to school and they're not gonna teach them properly, put things in their head that's not right, it's gonna get them in trouble with the police, with the laws. What do you expect? There's no jobs here. Why don't we have jobs? Why come our town is not growing? It seems like to me people got their hands on in too many places, the same people. There's no way that all of the people that I see that goes through Wovoka and all the money that comes through Wovoka, that our town has to look the way that it looks. It comes down to the way the money is managed. You have to manage the money at your house, don't you? Okay? Well, there's no excuse for us not having a department that's going to do our children the way that they need to be done in order to produce the next generation of Wovokans that you can stand up and be proud of and have an education that can read and write, that can compete with the world out there into society today. There's thousands of jobs here right here in Oklahoma. Okay, guess what? Our students do not qualify for them. They have to go and get other people from other places that's been educated in other places in order to fill the jobs here. That's for our children. We can't do no better than that. These are things that's very important to the next generation. They babies now, but they will grow up to be grown men and women one of these days. This is not a secret. This has been going on for generations here in Wewoka, Seminole, Holandville, Connerwall. You can just keep on naming it because it's a problem that needs to be solved, that needs to be addressed. That the government here in our town seems like that it doesn't matter to them. Well, we're here to speak up so the government can hear us. We the people are supposed to run the government.
Exactly the same.
We are the government. Remember, they are public servants. They are supposed to do what the law states, not what they think, not what they want. And this is what we get. Well, I want to do this over here. But what the law say? If you're doing according to the law, then half of these people would be locked up. Then you would start to see success. We got these problems right here in this town, right here, right now. Where are all the news stations? It ain't like I didn't call these people. Where's the Seminole producer at? You can go and report these things to the news. Go and report it to the Seminole producer. Meaning anything that's got anything to do with DHS or the government that's doing wrong toward a child, and they won't put it in the news. They will not place it in the paper. How can I tell you that? It happened to me. That's a violation of your rights. If they do it to me, don't you know they're going to do it to you? Because sooner or later they come knocking at your door. What about when you have a problem? And you're going to make a report to the sheriff's department or to the local police department or wherever, and it's never placed, or never looked into, or never taken care of. But they can go out here and pick up these other people out here that's breaking along 900 miles an hour that's outside the government. Well, it's time for the government to get cleaned up. Who's policing the police? Meaning the district attorney. He's the man that holds all of these people. And what he did to my family is wrong. What so-called public defenders, these so-called public defenders, the ones that I've had, they don't defend you. They don't take the law and go in there and actually put it to work. They put you to work. Bringing the money in. That's what you're finna do. You're finna sign a plea. And you're gonna bring the money in. This is what the public defenders, this is what they basically do. Man, there's nobody out here doing their job that's supposed to be actually standing up for your rights. If you don't know the law your own self and don't have a pocket full of money, you screwed here then, in other words, in this town. At least at the Wewoka courthouse, there's no way that the violations that I've seen and heard around here in Wewoka and various different cities and towns in the surrounding area, and nobody does anything about it. Either you're profiting from it or you don't care. Somebody's pockets is getting fat. Okay? But our town is going down. And the people that I see that's walking around, we all need jobs. Everybody needs a job. They're doing is to go to work. But when we got DHS down there, and they can come in and destroy families. When you tear down one family, you tear down another one. Don't you know that cuts on the people that's employed at these places? That causes trauma in their homes. They can't make it to work.
7 years in prison, 7 years in sentence.
That cuts on our economy. So I guess you make it up by taking kids. What about the justice system? Is it just us in the system?
Years in prison, years now.
We also have racial profiling. That's another problem. Okay?
That's right.
We're supposed to be fair laws across the books for everybody, not just no one race, creed, or the other. Everybody deserves the same laws. But I don't see that here. I don't get that here. And the problem that you can go report this and everybody's hands is tied. Nobody can't do nothing. This is the America that we're talking about. It's supposed to be the American dream. What happened to the dream? Did it die out? Or was it killed, murdered? Because I can't see a dream here. According to what they say the American dream is. It's supposed to be freedom, protection,
liberty,
being able to live like a citizen and not treated like you're a second or third class citizen. Not even a citizen.
How do you help support him?
They know I'm up here. I went down there and told DHS. This is not the first time. What are they doing now? They driving around and they buying cars, still spending that money, still picking up kids.
Yeah. Well, I have to go in and set up some paperwork.
Still picking up kids.
Yeah, come back. Give me a friend.
Hey, do you mind holding this real quick? I'm about to go get the petition papers.
Wait.
Just
Like
hold
this.
it. Yes.
The school system needs to be reformed. These things we can do. There's an election time coming up. If you're not satisfied, like I'm not satisfied, vote these people out of office. We can change with woke up. There's no such thing as, like, these people can't be voted out of office. Are you voted? Are you registered? Go register. And when time comes to vote, make sure you don't vote for these people that's not treating you fair, that's not doing you right. So we don't have to just stand around and just wait for the government. There's some things we can do ourselves to help our own selves. Freedom comes at a price. We're having to pay a heck of a price for the freedom that we have here. It should not be that way. Things is going to change. We're going to see today. I myself have a situation, and they talk about civil litigation. Civil litigation is not going to change these criminal laws. What about when the governor is supposed to reform DHS, when she appointed West Lane to the council? These were supposed to have been solving these problems. But instead, you know what they did? They told you about some laws that was already on the books. Didn't put no provisions in for people like me or my family and anybody else that's going to get hurt, family that's going to be traumatized by DHS. And the governor knew it. So did West Lane. They're fully aware of it. So how can the governor sit in her office and say that she loves children and protect children, and my family's in a situation that they're in, and she knows it? Is it because of the race? Or is it because they're just into the money? Things must change. The governor's office. I'm talking about the governor. And it acts like people in the city is walking around in these suits and ties that makes the money. It doesn't even matter to them. If it did, it helped the people that needs the help in the way according to the law. There's laws on the books. I know they are, but nobody's willing to enforce them. That's the problem. They have their own protocols. If the law is not in the best interest of the state, then you can believe me, you can get slapped all upside the head with it. Because that's what's going to happen to you.
Let me set this down.
Goes back to public defenders. My children was traumatized by DHS. Their attorney name was Bill Huger. He did not file one stitch of paperwork. Not one stitch of paperwork. Children with guns put to their heads. Children hit upside the head with bricks. And they have an attorney that won't file a stitch of paperwork against the state of Oklahoma. Any of the people that was involved in it. That's conspiracy. Conspiracy.
There's a couple you might get.
It's my sisters.
Oh, that's just
What up?
And when you have the Department of Human Services
Jacqueline, come on.
working together with other agencies to make sure that the truth will not come out when it's pertaining to the abuse that takes place within that agency, that's conspiracy. And according to the law, they can be arrested for that. There's no immunity for that. And there's no statute of limitations on that.
They've been doing this to you too?
They got paid to, what they say, so-called defend my children. They got paid to do nothing. Because they did nothing but sit back and watch the state traumatize my family. Yeah, it's my family. Nobody else has to do nothing about it at all. But sooner or later, guess what? They're coming in your door. What are you going to do then? What are you going to do then? Then you're going to wish you had said something. Done something. It's too late. Well, me, myself, I'm here to tell you, it needs to be changes made here, and it's going to take people that wants changes in order to bring changes. If you're satisfied with your condition, that's fine. You sit around and do nothing about it and continue to let the people do what they do. I myself, I'm going to do all I can to change that I know that needs to be changed is wrong. It's not going to do any good to continue running a system that we know is broke. That's not going to help the people at all. What that does is cause more problems. That makes an opportunity for DHS to come into your home even more so. If your child is not educated, the odds is they will be in the system. So it starts in school. It starts in school. And I went in down to the DHS and I've asked them for help when I had my children in school. They told me they could not help me. I told them I have trauma in my home. The Department of Human Services told me they could not help me. These are the things that I'm talking about. That's got to change.
No, 8 years ago, got it all. Yep.
If it don't change, it's going to change you.
Yep.
And you can count on it. You got to remember one thing. There's only so many people in the system county. They already had knocked on some percentage of doors in Seminole County. Don't you know that they won't knock on some more doors? Are you prepared? Are you ready? Because when you get your public defender, they're going to tell you the odds is take a plea. Or your children will not be protected. And if they happen to get traumatized while they're in the system, it doesn't matter. Just tell God you got your children back. This is what they say. We have a situation where it's so bad till a little child named Kelsey Briggs died in the system. Murdered in the system. That child was an innocent child, an innocent baby. What happened? You know what happened? The same people that traumatized my family, that did the things they did to my family, was covered up, and they opened up the door for the death of Kelsey Briggs. If they would have stopped the violations then and corrected the problem according to what the governor said that she was going to do, Mr. Lane said he was going to do, and all the rest of these people up there, okay, in office, these lawmakers, then that child would be alive. How can we have lawmakers that makes the laws that they don't follow their own self? That gets me. When you got people walking around here in suits and ties, in robes, and the law don't apply to them, they can just say whatever they want to say, do what they want to do to you. It's called immunity. But when it's caught up in conspiracy, these people don't have protection from immunity. And for the people that have the documents, look at it close to yourself. I have documents that show conspiracy. How does the Department of Human Services work together with other agencies, conspired to hide the truth? Again, we got people down here, some of the people down here, they need to be locked up. That's what we need, is locked up. And those people know who I'm talking about. I have talked to these people. I went down there and talked to them. They all over the state. They scattered them all over the state. So nobody's stopping it. I think the state might look around. Take a good look around. Well, we're here to change the things that needs to be changed. We're here to help the ones that can't help themselves. We're here to speak for the ones that can't speak for themselves. So the silent ones shall be heard. There's no more silences anymore. If I have to have a protest out here 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, I'll do whatever is necessary. We can always move these people out of office if we're not satisfied with it. That's going to bring about a change by itself. This is what we're looking for, is change. A change that's going to change for the better, not for the worse. Not to lock us down and put us down and shackle us even more so because we don't have the education that started at the school system. It's illegal to sit down and give a person a diploma and can't read. We have other speakers. Like to introduce Marie. She have a few things she'd like to say as well.
Hello, my name is Marie Vidana. I'm here to exercise my constitutional rights in behalf of my family, especially my grandchildren. Several of our civil rights and liberties have been grossly violated with unfairness and injustice. I've summarized and okay. My name is Marie Vidana. I'm here to exercise my constitutional rights in behalf of my family, especially my grandchildren. Several of our civil rights and liberties have been grossly violated with unfairness and injustice. I've summarized and condensed several documents and records that I've logged within the past 8 years and ongoing to this day. Just so that you don't jump to the conclusion that I dislike law enforcement officers in the entire justice system, I do have a fine grandson who is a police officer in the state of California. One of my brothers served in the U.S. Army as a military policeman, and my late father served as a deputy here in Wewoka. I've been doing some of your work too, officers, on my block. Our family's involvement with Seminole County courts and law enforcement department began while my grandchildren were in elementary school. It started when a family on our block sent several police officers to our home. We ended up in court on a complaint that me and my young grandchildren were threatening and intimidating this man's family. This was a reverse situation, but the judge seemed to have to believe that the total liar and refused to hear my statement. He instead reprimanded me and my young grandchildren and threatened me with contempt. The lying accuser was allowed to sit in court and threaten my grandson.
Wow.
He told the boy that he would blow his head off with his .38 if he put 1 foot on his yard.
You hear this?
There's
What?
There's more to this story. There's more to this story.
They just doing what wrong. Come on.
There's more to this story, and this was our first encounter to this system.
You hold on. You want me to, yeah, you want to take that? I'm trying to.
The same 4 children were criminalized and adjudicated as juvenile delinquents. There were several grossly fabricated counts on all 4 of my grandchildren's petitions by the predatory assistant DA, and I hear that he's a children's Sunday school teacher. These children also were ordered to drug court under strict supervision. This harsh injustice and violation of our civil liberties greatly depressed us all. These children were bewildered and traumatized as they never had used drugs and tested clean from the very beginning. When I brought up this truth to the judge and assistant DA, the judge threatened to arrest me for contempt. There's more court matters going on with these now adult grandchildren to this very